1 2 Vader Games in the building. You know what it is. You know what it is. Let me first say this. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the show. I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV. This is another episode of 115. 115. One question, 15 minutes. All right. I haven't started the clock yet, but so much happens in the news, guys. So much happens in the news. First things first. Come on, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. All right. Share this out. It's going to be a great conversation. Also, first things first, my peoples come first. My peoples, those that are here, those that are no longer here, always thought of and remembered. All right. Obviously, I had a show all lined up. I got kind of let something slide. I let something slide, but I have to address it. I'm going to address it on this show. But on top of that, there's been some breaking news. Not so much breaking news anymore, but this is going to be a bonus show. This has to be a bonus show where I discuss a few things. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that with where I got to discuss a few things. I have to. Now, let me also point this out. This might be a show, two shows in one. All right, this might be two shows in one, or I'll cut it off and then I'll jump to the other show. But I got to talk about this. Hold on here. Hold on. Bear with me. Vader Games. I got to talk about this as well. But it's got to be a different show. I got to deal with some agendas. And this breaking news, Sky Sports, all whoever that you trust with regards to what they do reporting wise in the world of football, they've all put it out there. All right. Now you're gonna get the spin doctors. You're gonna get the rivals that are gonna want to downplay this. You're gonna get everyone that's gonna misconstrue and want to switch things up. This, first of all, has nothing to do with the 115. All right. This has nothing to do, not with the 115 or my show, One Question, 50 Minutes. No, this has to do with APT, Associated Party Transactions, and huge ruling that came out, or should I say settlement, the S word that everybody hates, the S word that nobody really wants when it does come down to the 115, but an agreement was settled between the Premier League and City. I'm going to speak on that. Trust me, I will speak on this because it's huge. It's just dropped 5 hours ago or whatever. But before I do that, I gotta be true. I gotta be true to my channel, to those that tuned in initially, because those of you that tuned in was to discuss this. Vader Games. You guys tuned in to discuss this. Why are United fans getting so defensive? Ooh, what's got them triggered? Why are they rattled? Right? Why? If the legacy of their greatest ever manager is so sound, so secure, right? Why such a reaction? Why so many responses? Why so many threads? Right? Listen, I have it over here. And I spoke about this. This was on my channel the season before. This has been admitted. This isn't me jumping on trends, trying to stay up with the algorithm wave. This ain't it. This is me taking a second to think about it. Obviously, having pride in my club, pride in my manager, and being like, you know what? Why Pep's first 8 years is greater than Sir Alex? Like, I had that from the jump. No revisionist. No, let's wait and see. No, look at these United fans waiting for a third place finish from Pep to then want to talk about him being washed, right? Let's chill on all that. But they're coming out of the woodworks. And when I say they're coming out of the woodworks, shout out to my man Terry over at the Football Terrace. Keep doing your thing. Him having on, again, my guy, we're going to talk later on tonight, but him having Staffy on, another United warrior. Oh, you know what, Staffy, what do you want to talk about with regards to Pep's era, and what does Terry do? Just sit back and let the whole drama unfold. Listen, I know what they're doing. They have to go on the offensive, which is also the defensive for Sir Alex Ferguson, because of just what Pep has done. And I'm not going to do the whole reaction thing. I could do the play, play what Terry said in this clip and all that kind of stuff. I ain't going to waste time on that. I'm not going to waste time on that. What I will do, which I have to do, is let me speak to those in the chat, because what I like to do, those that show love on the channel, they hit that like button, they're in the comments. I got a shout at the very first today on the channel. Shout out with a comment is my guy. Listen, my brother out there over in the UK, over in Manchester. Flawless, good looking out, my guy. He goes, this crook Vader is late. Shake my head. Listen, I was late by 2 minutes. Let's not do all that. I wanted to make sure I had things lined up. And again, the news, I had to address the news. I had to. I see Paul in the building. Who is now the noisy neighbors? Listen. I still wear that label with pride. Noisy neighbors. I still wear it. Because you know what the noisy neighbors are? The noisy neighbors are those over there partying, right? Got people over. They got the parties happening, crowds, everyone's coming through. It's the house. It's the place to be. The neighbors always got action happening. I got no problem being the noisy neighbors. No problem whatsoever, right? My plumbing's good. You come over, you eat. You don't got to worry about getting sick from the chicken or anything like that. Listen, I'm cool being the noisy neighbors. But yes, there's a switch up on who's who on the block, no doubt. Klopp is a better manager than Sir Alex. Ooh, I'll let you run. I'll let you cook that. I won't be doing any of that debating. I see Spartacus in the building goes, good evening, lads. How are you doing? How are you guys doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. I promise this show, because I want to address a few things. And I'm not going to go crazy in depth. I'm not going to do the whole, I can. I got my multi-screens right here. If I wanted to, I could chop things up. Transfer market, league standings, transfer market, signings, transfer market, spending, transfer market. What did I say? Hold on. Transfer market, league standings, transfer market, spending, transfer market, transfers. I can do all that. I can put it on screen and we can do the whole comparison. I don't want to do the comparison. I think United fans, you need to be on mute. Why are you coming off talking? Just talk and defend your guy. Don't talk and speak on Pep. That's where I got an issue. Talk and defend your guy. I get it. Defend Sir Alex Ferguson, what he did, all that stuff, prop it up, big it up, cool. But don't then take shots at Pep. Leave. Don't do the comparison. If you want to combat my guy Luke, Manchester City fan, you want to say, just say what your manager did. Don't talk about my manager's not done. That's why this conversation is not fair. That's why it's not right. My man. Let me start the clock. Let me do things properly out here. Also, let me see in the comments. Paul goes, this is Pep's last year, so enjoy it. No, Pep's got this year and another year contractually. Pep's got another year. Why are we doing that? Company will be your manager next season. Paul, not next season. He will be my manager in the future. Hey, keep doing your thing over at Bayern, right? Keep doing your thing. That relationship you have with Olise over there, that relationship you have with Musiala over there, keep that going. And if you end up coming over here, bring those players with you. You know what I mean? Hey, it's all good. Let me chill. All right. We gotta do this clean. Let me get this set up properly. And then I gotta adjust my settings here. Cool. Where's the clock at? Boom. And let's do this properly. Vader game. All right. Now we got the clock going. One question, 15 minutes. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. First of all, why United fans are so threatened of City and Pep's next level dominance. It's real easy. There's reason to be threatened. There's reasons to want to defend your guy because of how well Pep has done, how amazing Pep has been in this league. And I'm going to say this first, right off from the jump. I'm going to be consistent with it. Hear me loud and clear. Rivals that happen to be on the chat, you happen to watch this later. Obviously, Manchester City fans, you can hear me out, but do as you like. I don't think the managers should be compared. They're different eras. They're very, very different eras. I don't think the managers should be compared. I also think that if you're going to be doing all of these things fairly, do you take the first 8 years of Pep's introduction to the Prem and the first 8 years to Sir Alex Ferguson's entry into the English league? Or then you allow him, because he was in the league for 6 years, to then count him 6 years after being in the league and then count his first 8 years in the Prem? Do we do all that? Come on. For those of you that are kind of historians, and I will never claim to be a historian, for those of you that want to do your homework, your academics, and do all that, go ahead. But how do we really judge this kind of fairly? How do we judge Pep coming in to the Prem with a whole new different set of rules? How do we also look and judge Pep coming into the Prem and having it hit the ground running to Sir Alex Ferguson coming into the English league and getting 6 years to get accustomed to the English league and then rebranding the Prem, and then you count his 8? Does that seem fair? Because it's really, then you're looking at 14 years for Sir Alex Ferguson if you're going to include the years before the Prem, and you're only going to be counting the first 8 for Pep. And then you also want, and I've seen this and I think it's lazy, listen, don't let these attempted myth busters, don't let this let's be fair, because again, shout out again to Football Terrace over at Terry. He does his thing. He's a United fan. He can't help himself. Terry can't help himself. You see it on the match reactions and how certain things get discussed, especially when it comes down to City. He can't help himself. And I get it. It's Manchester, right? It's that rivalry. But Pep and what he's done is in a different time. What Sir Alex Ferguson did is in a different time. Look at why Pep surpassed Sir Alex Ferguson in greatest manager debate. Now, if you want to do career, go at it. Go career. You want to talk about Pep's days at Barca, Bayern, and City. You want to put that all together. You want to talk about Aberdeen, and you want to talk about all this Sir Alex Ferguson have done. Go ahead, do all that. But I don't think you can fairly and rightfully do it because of when each took place. Sir Alex Ferguson started coaching in the English league is 1986. 1986. Like, that is a different era. It 100% is. I don't think it's a fair conversation. United fans, relax, chill on this. I will get to the comments. I see you. Chill on this. You don't need to be fighting this hard. Let Pep have this era. Let Sir Alex have his past era, and we move. But now, like I said, if it's career, have the conversation. If it's with regards to the Prem, one manager's been in here for 9 years. Another one, you're going to talk about his legacy for 25 years. Like, what are we doing here? Like, do you really want to have that conversation? I think when you get fans, and shout out to Luke, when you get City fans that want to say winning the treble in this millennia, okay, listen, he's trying to trigger you, he's jabbing you, you're falling for it, you're getting reeled in. Like, just don't fall for the bait. But when he does want to point out in the manner in terms of how one treble was won, he wants to talk about the obstacles that were in front of each treble, the circumstances, right? He's got a point. And that's not just me. As I said, listen, it was an undefeated Champions League run towards that treble. It was going through the heavy hitters. In addition to winning this treble, to win the treble had to be done against Manchester United to win that FA Cup. It's not just another treble. It's not. There's honor, there's respect that we show each other because it's only been Manchester clubs that have won the treble in the English league. But to compare the two, let's go at it. I think many would say Pep's treble's better than the United one. if you want to compare Champions League, if you want to compare FA Cup and who had to beat who wasn't standing in front of who, right? You can do all that. And then you can't take what your manager says in Sir Alex Ferguson as like the holy grail importance and then diminish it when he says something else that kind of goes against him. Sir Alex Ferguson said that winning the domestic treble was impossible. Go back and listen to the quotes. Go back and read. It was impossible because of how intense the league was. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed even with regards to what's happened. There's more football being played now, right? There's more football being played now. There's more of a tax on these players. Like I said, it's a different era. It's a different era. So y'all need to chill on this one. Y'all are going after Pep. You're going after City because of what it means to the United and Sir Alex Ferguson legacy. I get all that. You're rightfully take your shots, but you're taking your shots because you know you feel threatened on it. Let me go to these comments real quick. Spartacus goes, to be honest, if you take all of Pep's career, he did everything Ferguson did, but better. He won a treble with an academy kids. He rebuilt a winning side at Barca. He dominated in Germany and a four-peat with City. See, Spartacus, when it comes down to a career-wise accomplishments, I'm on mute. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. But Pep's career isn't even over yet. But just that list alone, right? The things that were done, and they're gonna dismiss all of that stuff. They're quick to say, right? They're quick to say, "Oh, look at what he did at Barca because he had Messi." There was a manager prior to him that didn't have that faith to do what he did with regards to Messi. There's been legends that Sir Alex Ferguson has coached as well. I'm not one to poo-poo on what David Beckham was. I'm not one to even want to talk down because, well, actually, no one should be talking down on what CR7 was over it. Wayne Rooney, are we gonna do all that? Wayne Rooney poached over from Everton to strengthen United. It's a different era. I give credit. Give credit to what was accomplished and done. But listen, if it's career-wise, it's Pep. Easy. And that's why they want to talk about him being washed. That's why they want to talk about him being figured out. That's why they have to do it, because of what he's done has been so incredible. When you get the likes of these United fans that want to talk about Fergie did such and such first. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a first. There's going to be a first to have won back-to-back Prems. There's going to be a first to maybe win doubles. There's going to be a first to do all of that. But when you get someone that's then done it and then done more, there's never been a four-peat. Never been a four-peat. And to be, listen, that four-peat wasn't done with mad investment. That four-peat, the fourth year, wasn't done with getting the best talent from another club and weakening them and moving on. It was done with so much of the groundwork from early days, and that, hey, we're kind of taking a hit on that right now with regards to sustaining it. What United fans, you're being overly defensive, and you don't need to. Fall back, say it's different eras. Don't do the comparison. Career-wise, you're going to get washed by Pep. What Pep did in a shorter amount of time, the genius that he's talked about. And again, what doesn't get talked about within the clip as well. Pep gets blamed for world football. And then they don't want to talk about the influence of Pep's football. Like, what? They want to talk, they in the same breath. They want to say, oh, no one's really copying Pep's influence on the world of football, or they want to dismiss or minimize what he's doing and then try to prop up the entire world, the entire of football today. They blame it on Pep. So he's had an influence prior, and now they're blaming for what they have right now. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Now, Spartacus also says, I mean, didn't Ferguson have Scholes, Beckham, and a lot? You can't win the CL with crap players. Trust me, I know. The girl RK in the building. She goes, "Hello, Vader. Good to catch up live. Thank you. Great to see you too. Hope you've been well. Been a part of the replay gang. Hey, much appreciated. You hitting that like. Hey, even if you hear me say something crazy or reckless and you want to leave a comment afterwards, I read them. Much appreciated. Been disagreeing with your happy clappers lately, but the last CIA stream helped change my perspective. Okay, I like that. The girl, okay, I like that. Now that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to put some information out there. It doesn't need to be accepted by all, but maybe it's a different way to look at things. Right? And CIA, my next CIA show, listen, let me put this. Let me tell you. The next CIA show, the girl RK. All right. It's gonna be a fire one. It's gonna be a fire one. The next CIA show, I'm gonna be listen, I'm kind of in my giddy bag right now. I'm in my giddy bag right now. I've got a lot. There's been a lot to kind of have to deal with. A little disappointed with how the league started. A little upset with oh, actually, I should pause the clock here. I'm a little upset with how we're kind of playing, but when you have signs, when you have things in place that can assure that you'll have the means to improve, right? You'll have the ability to go back and maybe do a little reassessment, improve areas need to fix. We know that to fix things in football, you got to be able to spend. You got to be able to hire the right people, hire the best people, things of that nature. This is huge. This is a huge win. Huge win. And I'm going to say this. It's not just the win for Manchester City. What Manchester City did in terms of like holding the bill, going out and putting in that work was for all the other clubs in the league. All the clubs, even the clubs that voted against it. We know better. My Newcastle brothers over there. Listen, as much as we be fighting, I guess for whatever reason, we're gonna be fighting for a while. But this one was for you guys. All right. APT, this was a win. This was a win for you guys. Now, when I break down this show, I'm gonna hopefully I'm gonna get other panel members because I want to hear their take. I think it's gonna be a time. Maybe we don't champagne pop, but it will be a time to be like, we won one. We won one, the settlement. And anyone that wants to tell you we didn't win with regards to this, are lying. They're lying. We didn't have the ability to do something before the settlement. We're able to do something with the settlement. That's a win. That's a win. And the Premier League, they keep face, right? We move. Let me go back. Now, what did I do with my clock? All right. To go back and discuss this, if anybody wants to argue that Pep is washed, you can say that early. You can say that now if you want. Feel free. It's a time will tell type thing. You want to say it early. You want to say it now. I get all that. Wash compared to his previous standards. Okay, that's real easy. Like, who's going to maintain their peak, right? Like, when would you say Sir Alex Ferguson was washed, right? Was it when he wasn't able to win back-to-back Prems? Was it when he wasn't able to win within every 2 years? Like, what do you want? When did you push that wash status away from him? You know what I mean? Right now, the wash status for Pep is him not winning the league after a 1 year off. Time will tell. Is he washed if he happens to win the league? Is he washed because he's not playing the same style? Listen, not playing the same style is actually adaptation. That's him doing what needs to be done so that he can get the results that he wants. The style, we're not even doing the same style of football that we did when he first came through. The Centurions, we ain't playing football like that. We're not even playing football the way we just a couple seasons ago when we won the treble. He's adapting. So I don't know where they're going with the whole he's washed, his style of play, that kind of talk. I'm going to get into it. Listen, like I said, I feature on a few shows. I'm going to have the conversation, obviously, with Staffy, because I'm sure that's going to come up on the American Waffle. I'm sure they're going to have some takes on this settlement, and we'll discuss it. I'm looking forward to that. Now, let me go to the comments real quick. Spartacus goes, Xavi and Iniesta weren't Xavi and Iniesta before Pep. Trust me, revisionist. They do all that. They're doing that. And the same goes on for most of the side. They want to talk. Oh, thank you, Spartacus. They want to say Pep needs ready-made players. Pep can only win with the best players. That's the myth going on. That's the narrative going on. He could only win with ready-made players. So winning with Gabriel Jesus was ready-made. Sterling wasn't ready-made. These are promising players, I'll give you that, but they weren't ready-made. Was anyone saying that Rodri was ready-made? Listen, Rodri, incredible work ethic, his development huge. He doesn't do that without having it. But at the same time, he was no Ballon d'Or player. Holland was good. Holland was good, but was Holland Ballon d'Or levels before City? Come on now. And the style of play that we had to do with Holland, everyone said Pep doesn't play that way. Pep doesn't like strikers. They are so quick to want to throw out the wash because of the threat of what Pep is to Sir Alex Ferguson. We're going to continue to have this conversation. Trust me, we will continue to have this. I'm not going anywhere. And if I need to go micro, and then break, like I said, I'm going to break down every season. I'm going to break down every season of spend. I'm going to break down every season of incoming transfers and who they got these transfers from. If we got to do all that because you guys won't chill and recognize that it's different eras, we'll do all that. And then they're going to, at the same breath, they're going to ignore, FFP. What that? FFP had such a big impact. PSR has had such a huge impact. Let me imagine this. Okay, imagine this. Imagine a time without FFP, without PSR. And you had teams, if you want to say you had clubs that want to mismanage. Okay, say that they mismanage. Those clubs that mismanage were still in the market to take the talent of what you wanted. If you want to say it was Wild Wild West and everyone was competing, they were still out there to take the talent which you wanted, and whether they ran their business well or not, they were able to do it. FFP has it really protect these clubs? Okay, sure. There's been less number of dissolved or failing clubs, but the money in the sport is also crazier. There's more of the competition consistently with a group of clubs. There's a reason why there's a big six that you got to compete against. Let's leave these eras separately. Let's not get triggered. United fans, don't get triggered. Pep's only here for another 2 seasons, this season and next season, and then he's going on his way. He's going to go on his way. Now, if he does things like continues with the Centurions, continues with these winning these leagues in the fashion that he does, y'all got to fall back. And I'm going to say this too. I got to say this. For the fans that want to diminish, the points scored within a season. They want to say, oh, by such and such of a season, these players hung up their boots or were on vacation. That speaks to the better quality of one club versus the other in terms of having the League One and still keeping their foot on the throat, still pursuing to do something that hasn't been done before, or having to be neck and neck with another club and having to go to the final day, which resulted in 90 plus points. Like, that speaks to the high level of competition and fierce battle between two clubs. Stop it, guys. Stop it. Spartacus, this is the most bonker statement I've heard. If anything, the opposite is true. He had to bin off players like Yaya and Ibra to win the treble at Barca. They're going to do all that they can to diminish him. And I also get sometimes you got to let some players go because philosophy wise, they're not fully dialed in. They're not completely on board with how you want to do things. And you don't want to have to go into work every day and have to, one's pulling, one's pushing you. You don't want to have to do that the entire day. So I get sometimes being like, you're not on the same page. I'm going to let you go. But it's not like it was a horde of talent. And this is the only reason why Pep won. Also, this is crazy to me. If there's any Liverpool fans in the mix right now, okay, because I know you guys remain on mute. You like this whole fight between Sir Alex and Pep. I want to ask Liverpool fans this. I want to ask you guys this, and maybe this is more of a. No, I'm gonna leave it. Let me ask you, Liverpool fans: Would you prefer the standard of manager being Pep or being Sir Alex Ferguson? Which one does more for the legacy of your club with regards to what they were able to achieve? If they were able to achieve what they did against the greatest manager in terms of Pep, if we say that, what does that raise the Liverpool accomplishments to, or maybe their shortcomings, their not ability to win the Prem, or is it best for the legacy to be Sir Alex Ferguson and what he was able to do? I'm just asking. Liverpool fans, y'all stay on mute. I get it. Y'all stay on mute. I don't know. Think about it. Liverpool fans, is it better if the better manager has been Pep and what you guys have had to overcome? You know what I mean? Like, think. That's all I'm gonna say. Take a second, think about it. Liverpool fan having to fight against the greatest manager in the Prem and a Manchester City, or is it better for Liverpool fans say that they weren't going up against the greatest Prem manager and City, but Sir Alex Ferguson was that standard? I'm posing the question. Take a second. Don't answer now. Just think about it. And also, Liverpool fans, this is a separate question, but along the same lines. And actually, let me ask all the rivals. Was Liverpool were they never the best team to have won the Prem when Klopp was here? Were they never favorites? Were they never the better club with the acquisition of Fabinho, Ronaldo? Like, were they never Thiago? Were they never considered the better club, even with what happened over at City? I want to pose that if it's a case of they were never the better club. It was like City for 6. Well, we got to include 7 for the year, because even when Liverpool won it, so for 7 years, 8 years, has City always been the best club? Were they the best club for 8 years? I'm posing the question. I don't know. Some seasons I was like, I think my club is going to win it, despite I don't think that they are the very best. But I'm gonna leave that to y'all Liverpool fans. Mateo in the building, he goes, a lot would say Fergie. And I'm not upset with that. Oh, I fell behind on some of these comments. Paul, Pep is also guilty of destroying players. Grealish, Calvin Phillips. Every manager has destroyed players. Every manager. Some players don't quite get the best while they're at a said club under said manager, but they do it elsewhere. Paul, Pep's not the only one guilty of that. Spartacus, people say that Pep needs ready-made players, but they also say that he can't handle big egos. I know, make it make sense. It's either one or the other. Pick one side. They're all over the place to try and defend this Sir Alex Ferguson. You got them all. They're scrambling. And I'm when I talk on the next show, with regards to the victory that we had with regards to APT, I'm going to give some things in perspective, because there's a few out there right now. There's a few people out there, some fraudulent people out there. I see you guys in the comments. I'll be there soon. There's a few fraudulents out there that want to say that Liverpool aren't media darlings, right? They want to say that Liverpool are apparently the villains. In what world? In what world? Like, the villain fights the Prem. Am I mistaken? Am I wrong here? The villain fights the Prem. That's the villain. But the villain is actually the hero in this case, right? We're the hero, but we're labeled as the villain because we're fighting for the rest of the clubs because this APT was unlawful. It needed to be amended. It wasn't properly written. They were scrambling. They were fearful. Oh no, new owners at Newcastle. Oh, what does this mean for Manchester City? They were scrambling. They weren't right. They had to adjust the wording. Now the wording is improved. APT, we got a settlement. All right. I'm gonna talk in detail to what that settlement's all about on the next show. I'm so excited. Listen, it's huge. It's huge. Now, let me go to these comments because I'm all over the place. I see Godfrey in the building. Good looking out, Godfrey. Paul goes, Liverpool fan here. Pep is a tactician. Sir Alex Ferguson is a man manager. Sir Alex style would not be successful in this era. And that's why I don't compare eras, Paul. That's honestly why I don't compare eras. Like, Ferguson had an amazing career, but he also knew he knew it was time to go. Right? And look at the greatness of Jose. Like, I don't even think Jose is washed either. I think Jose just needs equally strong-minded people around him that do the non-football stuff. I think that's what he needs. Brilliant managers, they don't fade that way. It's just a matter of whether they have the energy for it, whether they're still up for it. And it looks like Jose has more than enough energy. Sports HD goes, virtually every manager, every team, every league, even in lower league now tries to play Pep's philosophy. That's an absolute fact. I can't say it because with me saying it, I'm biased. With me saying it, I'm doing too much. He's changed football. Which managers tried to copy Fergie's style? Now, Fergie's man management, right? Like his philosophy with regards to training and fitness, I give him all that. Just like I give Arsene Wenger. His philosophy, his change, his methods with regards to fitness and the approach to football, a lot of credit. But Fergie's style of football, get the heck out of here. Stop it. Pep has always have the better collection of talents compared to Klopp. Okay, that's fair. That's fair if you want to say that. I missed this comment. Godfrey, big up Vader. Hope you're good, legend. Hey man, thank you so much. Where did I? Oh, okay. Hold on here. Mateo goes, isn't it funny how people have one track mind about the 115 charges? You had the news come in today about the APT directly. Thought it was 115 related. Listen, one, we know people don't read anymore. We know that people have their apps read out loud, right? People don't even write anymore. They go voice to text. Comprehension skills, I don't think are at a high, but there's also a lot of wishful things. Mateo, like there's a lot of wishful thinking with regards to City getting hit with the 115. And I mean, there's a reason why I got this show, right? One question, 50 minutes. I'm playing on that 115, but they're so eager to want City to be guilty. And it's funny, City are doing the good work. City are doing the good work for these other clubs, but they just don't want to see it. They just want to see it. The media with City and Liverpool is like it's like HR meme. It is. When has Liverpool ever been a villain in the? That's what I'm talking about. Never. Now, if you want to talk about how there's now an adverse response to how they're moving, like how they've won the league, how they invested, and how they look to be going after their first back-to-back Prem, like that from a rivalry standpoint, the energy all makes sense. But how they're covered, how they're talked about, how their spending is actually talked about. You get clowns over at Talk Sport that want to talk about net spend. Oh, they didn't spend in 2 seasons, so they can spend like this. Listen, I'm gonna love this show. This CIA show, Cite Intelligent Agendas. When we do this show with APT, when I deal with some of these questions that these rivals are gonna have with regards to it, listen, live it up. It's a long season. We got to take our joys with what happens on and off the pitch. I talked about this a few shows ago. I think the club have had a serious battle, right? Godfrey and everybody in the chat. City on their way to their greatest season ever, that treble season. While we were pursuing that treble season, the 115 hit. Take that in for a second. While we were going in for the treble, this treble was way more difficult than Sir Alex. You want to talk about media darlings? You want to talk about manager and what he's done at the club, reviving a sleeping giant, all that stuff over at United. United wanting to take Liverpool off the perch or whatever. Were they bombarded? Were they questioned every press conference, no matter what the result is? The 115, these alleged breaches, all of that. While you're trying to win a season, right? While you're trying to win your third Prem, while you're pursuing to try and win a treble, to have that over, and on top of that, listen, we get questioned a lot. And I know I'm being a little preachy, but please, everybody hear me out. Hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button, so then share this. We get questioned often about how we didn't reinvest into the club, how our recruiting with regards to player talent kind of fell off. There's a coincidence, or isn't it ironic that we weren't able to get the same level of talent that we kind of got even the season prior, the summer prior? The summer prior, there was no 115 talk, but the summer prior, we ended up going out and we got Ortega, backup keeper. We got Akanji, great versatility in terms of the back four. We got Julian Alvarez, which everybody and their mama wants, right? Barca want him. Obviously, Atletico Madrid have him. You had Liverpool fans in the summer saying they wanted this guy. We had Julian Alvarez, great talent, helped Messi win that World Cup. And then we had Erling Haaland. We did that the summer going into the Prem. And is it a coincidence? Is it ironic? Is it too far to say that we weren't able to match that level of bringing in the talent? I could list off, we weren't able to get Jude Bellingham. We weren't able to get Declan Rice. We weren't able to continue to go out and get the talent that we'd want to continue to secure with 115 over our heads. Pursuing and wanting to maintain that level, there's a lot that goes into place. It's timing, it's decision making, but then there's also players that are being like, you know what, let me hold off. I'm not going over there just yet. You got some questions. Handle your business, clean everything up before I make. It's no coincidence. So now with the APT dealt with, and just so you know, I don't want, you know what? No, I'm gonna wait. I'm not talking APT. On my next show, tune in. But it's gonna be so interesting to when the 115 is then gone. It's no longer over our heads, and the level of talent that we're gonna be able to continue to bring in and secure. Before the 115, we brought in Erling Haaland, Julian Alvarez, Ortega, and Akanji. Since 115, we obviously adjusted. I ain't hating on Kova. Not hating on Mateus Nunes, but we ended up getting those two players in that summer. And Doku. I'm not hating on any of those players. We got those three. The following year, 115 is still over our heads. We went out and got Gundogan on a free. We got Savinho. We let Julian Alvarez actually left. So when they want to question the recruitment, there's rhyme and reason to how it drastically fell off. They want to talk about, City were doing this, City were buzzing, they were doing all this. There's a correlation. There is a correlation. I can't wait for us to get this resolved. Let me get back to these comments. Spartacus goes, Godfrey, your name inspired by the. I don't know about that. Let those guys answer this. Paul, Pep has only one Prem League win at Anfield in his career in 10 games. Well, why does that matter? Imagine only having one Prem League at Anfield and having it won 6 of the last 7 Prems. What? Why does that matter? I think the head-to-head between City and Liverpool is pretty fierce. Liverpool have 2 EPL titles in 30 years. What's you guys don't need to fight out there. Paul wants me to rank from best to worst. Sesko, Gyökeres, and Ekitike. From best to worst. As of what I've seen right now, I'm going to go what I've seen. I'd reverse order that. So Ekitike, Gyökeres, and Sesko. I think Gyökeres, I think he's going to be a bully versus many defenders. He just needs to get acclimated. But it's going to be interesting because I think Arsenal create a lot of chances for him. Right now, yeah, Ekitike, Gyökeres, and Sesko. Was there another ranking? Oh, I missed Paul's other ranking. Rank in order in their prime. Ooh. In their prime. You know what? In their prime. Wenger in his prime was kind of sick. Wenger in his prime was sick. And when you want to talk about like how the media pitted one versus the other, the media weren't happy with what Wenger was doing. He had to deal with all of that. He was the challenger. They didn't like all that. In their prime. The prime was also short for Arsene Wenger. Because in his prime he still wasn't able to get the big one done. I'd have to flip that. So go Sir Alex, Klopp, and Wenger. But it's tight. It's tight because I'm keeping it all things included. What you had to do in the Prem, what you had to do domestically, what you had to do in the UCL. So yeah, but that's a tough one. Mateo in the building. Liverpool allowed to spend big as they did it the right way, but we did it cheating. Yeah, man, listen, did it the right way. Nonsense. It's all garbage. I'm so annoyed with all that talk. City will live to regret giving Holland 500K a week for 10 years. No, he won't. Do you know there's never been a greater debut? Holland is disgustingly good, and he's not even peak yet. He's not worth every penny. Worth every penny, I'm telling you. Godfrey goes, I have to agree, even as a rival fan, Vader. Godfrey, this is what, listen, we could be rivals, but we can still talk sensible football, right? We can still be balanced about it. I'm with you. Good looking out. I see Mancunian Way in the building. Man saying, here comes the money. Here comes the money. Oh, man. Mess. He goes, mess with Manchester City and you get your arm bitten off. I like the settlement. The settlement was good. We played nice, right? We played nice. I'm gonna talk about APT on another show. Mancunian Way, good looking out. I gotta save it. Like I said, I gotta save this. Beta games. I gotta save this talk. I did a show a while back. Shout out to my guys over at American Waffle. So I did a little brief CIA SWOT analysis, strengths, you got to do all that: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. You got to do all that SWOT. As I was doing that, those guys were all joking, look at Vader talking about money and stuff like that. But what do fans complain about when they're not seeing things happen at their club? What's the first thing that you get all the crybabies talk about? Spend, buy this, buy that, right? United fans are always crying about spending, right? I had to do a SWOT analysis, and I had to point out that we, for 2 years in a row, generated profit, right? Record profit, by the way. This past year, we were able to talk about um, Puma and the agreement that they've put with regards to us. Shout out to Puma, good looking out, 10-year deal. Um, that first $1 billion sponsorship deal ever in English football, record, amazing. And then, and again, I don't want to talk about it, but I'm talking about it. You know what? It's this settlement opens up so much that was prevented. And when we want to talk about cities recruitment being so poor, you want to ignore the 115. You also want to ignore what APT did, because there's something when you're working behind the scenes and you're trying to get some deals done and you're ready to be like, yeah, we got this, move it forward, let's get this done. So my balances can be all lined up because I've got this money coming in. They prevented that. They prevented maybe some of the planning, some of the investment, some of the player targeting that maybe would have done. They had to put that on hold. I'm so excited for this. I gotta stop talking about this. This show's supposed to be on why United fans are so defensive. So let me relax on that one. Let me go back to these comments. Blue Heart in the building. Blue Heart, he goes, it's not Wenger or Klopp. Klopp, not enough trophies. Wenger, not champs. Yeah, you know what? It is tough. It is tough. Liverpool, the right way, hacking City. Now, Blue Heart, do you know that they're trying to downplay the hacking of Manchester City's scouting reports? They want to downplay that. They want to talk about, oh, and even City just said, pay the fine and move forward. Yeah, because we're partners in the Prem. They're trying to keep a good relationship within the Prem, but they obviously did something wrong. They paid a fine. They paid a penalty. It's funny. They want to talk about legacy, right? Like, oh, if City cheated back in a day with this 115 and it comes out that they did some things wrong financially, that would mean that what they've won since should be dissolved, shouldn't count. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Was there ever some like match fixing back in the day? Was there a member of the Red Cartel that did some kind of shady things on match fixing or the final day of a season? Was there not something like that? If we want to talk about the scouting, and if you're able to take the format, take the setup, take the design of a scouting, and then use that for your benefit, what does that mean? Since 2013 or whenever you stole this scouting, what does that mean for your legacy and what happened moving forward? Let's not do all this slippery slope nonsense. Let's fall it. Let's stop. Let's stop. Mancunian Way goes 7 away from 1K. Come on, listen. I'm a patient man. I am a patient man. They want to listen. This is not a late night show, so I'm not even going to bring that up yet. I'm going to say that for a late night show, but I am a patient man, and good things come to those who wait. I'm cool. 7 away. Do I even have it? Let me open it. Let me see where we're at. Go to this dashboard. Listen, we are 7 away. Martin's absolutely right. Thank you all for continuing to subscribe. It's been a nice, well-paced journey. We will get there. I know I need to do more content. Absolutely. Hope all is well with talking about the Blue Heart. Godfrey, are you going to do a membership, Vader? See, I thought about it, but I'm torn. Like, does my membership deal with football content, or does my membership deal with maybe opening the curtain a little more, like revealing a little more of myself in terms of content creator, what I do, what I've done, things of that nature. I'm I'm I want to make, if it's good, I want to make something worthwhile, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me also say this. The support for this channel has also been well paced because, and I don't think I'm breaking any confidences here because I'm not going to talk about anybody specifically, but you know how many sustain their channels with super chats and things of that nature. I was blessed early with regards to this game, YouTube game or whatever, with people just hitting me up in the DMs and me like, I know you're just getting your channel on the ground, and helping me support that way. So not just financially, like there's been equipment that I've been privy to, and I'm very thankful for. So yeah, good looking out with that one. Blue Heart asks, he's saying all is good to Martin. Oh, question here. Why did Pep sign Pep Linders looking for Liverpool secrets? That's funny. I don't think that's really the case, but time will tell whether we have Liverpool secrets, or was it Liverpool secrets or Klopp secrets? I don't know. LFC in the building. She goes, big up, good looking out. Thank you. Sterling gave us all of, yeah, I'm sure he did. And oh yeah, see that. Paul, how did you come up with the name Vader? Ooh, that might be, see, Paul, that's a good membership answer, or maybe call-in show thing. That's a good call-in show thing. Now, I'll tell you this, Paul. There's been some messed up people in this whole YouTube space that have manipulated my name. You can only think of it. You know how kids can be cruel on the playground and stuff. People have manipulated the name Vader, and they've butchered it. They've said it differently. They've written it differently. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna give. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give more behind the scenes stuff. I do actually. Another thing. I know a lot of you spend time in front of a screen or sitting down on a tablet, whatever it may be. I'm definitely going to share my tips, I think, on how to really keep a healthy life balance, to be able to kind of like stay active, stay fit, muscle flexibility, muscle tone, even if you happen to spend a considerable amount of time in front of a screen. I want to kind of share that. I like seeing and knowing that people are healthy. So I'm gonna put this on screen. Let me do this one more time. Let me do this. And let me highlight this. I'm trying to figure out, I didn't even mean to. What? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? It's messed up. Hold on. Do this. No. Did I do that right? I messed something up. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I'm going to figure out when to do this show. Again, if you haven't hit that like button, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like I said, I'm short. I'm very close to the 1K mark, but I got to do a panel show. I got to do a panel show on this tomorrow. I'm going to reach out to my peeps. If anyone's available at 4 p.m. UK time, that might be tough, but I'm going to have to do it anyways. I'm going to look to do some at 4 p.m. UK time. We got to address this. I got to get my panel people back together. Yeah, so look out for an invite. Look out for a thumbnail. I got to talk this because, again, big picture with regards to this APT, and then big picture to what I think is breadcrumbs to what the 115 is going to lead to. I need to do the panel show. I'm going to make sure that I get people that have obviously taken their time and read through the information. I'm going to make sure I also have some panel members that are if they're just going to be purely emotional, that's fine. They didn't really put in that time to read it through, understand it. That's cool, but we got to do this. We got to do this. So let me work on the format, because I think it's more important for the information to be on screen than it is maybe the panel members and our visibility. But we got to discuss it. Blue Heart, Blue Heart. I need to, I got to get the peeps together. We got to break this down. We got to be prepared. Also, we got to have the talking points to then take these shots at these rivals. They're not happy with this. They're not happy with this. City are the true villains. City are the true villains of the league. As much as we do what is right for football, we want a regulator within this. We wanted to fight this ABT because we didn't think that they were just. Reword it. It's not done properly for the betterment of the league. Obviously, the betterment of the league means it's better for us, but for the betterment of the league. And we move from there. LFC wants to ask Vader. Wait, I will tell Francis sub to you now. Hey, good looking out. Thank you so much. Let me also do this, because I could have the studio open. I could have the checking. I see the numbers are creeping. We're now 6 away, and I'm very appreciative. Thank you, LFC. Good looking out. Paul wants to ask, which pair is more scary, Isak Salah or Holland Marmoush? We haven't seen Isak and Salah. If we're gonna go based off of last season, even number wise, it's pretty close, because Marmoush had a very good season before coming to the Prem. He had a very good season as well. But I'm gonna tip the scales a little bit and say that Isak and Salah. You know what is the combination that I want back, and I need him healthy? Foden Holland. Ooh, and I know Foden's not a right winger. I know all that. Marmoush is, kind of play. Marmoush isn't even a left winger. He kind of plays off the left and drifts in. But that combo, that Holland Foden combo that we got 2 seasons ago when Foden was obviously player of the year. We need to get that back. I think that could cook, to be honest with you. LFC has a question, Mater. When will you concern if results not improving? Oh, my concern for the club if results aren't improving. You haven't tuned into to a different show. My bad. I should have kept this on screen. It's still the 115. I just happened to switch things over for a little bit because I wanted to talk about an upcoming show. What did I do there? Oh yeah, that's what happened. No. Oh, I screwed that up. How did I screw that up? Let me just take it off screen then. You didn't tune into the wrong show or anything like that. It's still 115. I was dealing with a few things to switch over because I need to promote my CIA panel show that we are going to discuss heavy. I shifted over here because I was discussing my overly defensive, overly threatened, so not necessary, United fans. I think in the near future we're going to get a lot more of this type of conversation. A lot more people are going to be Vader games. A lot more United fans are going to be in mad defense of Pep, because here's the thing, and this is one thing I'm going to say before I sign off, because I want you guys to be aware of. Here's the thing. They're now saying on how Pep has never won the league unless he's had the better team. Okay, let's concede to that. They've clearly said that Pep doesn't have the best team this year. Many have said that Pep probably has a squad that's going to finish 4th, right? Now, if Pep finishes and wins this league, Because again, they're talking crazy. They're saying Pep doesn't have the better team. He can only win with the better team. He's not going to make adjustments. He's washed. Pep wins this league against this Liverpool with this squad of City players. What does that say to his legacy? You know what I mean? So you gotta chill. You gotta relax. But hey, talk it up. I'm there. I'm taking notes. I'm with you. I'm with you. Pep needs the best players. Doesn't have them this year. Pep needs to have the best team. Doesn't have it this year. Listen, people, I just saw my person in the chat, LFC in the building, said we hit the 1,000 mark. Good looking out. Thank you so very much. I see it. Boom. Let me screen grab this bad boy. Hold on. Let me try to do this thing. How do I do this? Bear with me. All right, let me do that. All right, bear with me. You guys are legends. You guys are absolute legends. I'm gonna do that. And where is it? If we do this, let me do a little bit of editing here. In real time, I'm gonna be putting this on screen. Wow, you guys are amazing. You guys crushed it. Live on the show. You know what's listen, I mean, let me be real with you guys. I do some features on some channels, and you know, they're kind to say go and subscribe. The funny thing is you can see when people have gone and subscribed. So I don't know if it's falling on deaf ears or whatever, but I got to do this officially.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Vader Games.
It's there. It's there. Boom, we hit it. 1K. We hit it. LFC, good looking out. My people, good looking out. We're there. This was my last 115. My last 115. I had to address a few things. This is actually the newest that you tuned into. This is great. Thank you so very much. I'm going to continue to put in that work. I'm going to continue to drop these vids live, recorded. I'm going to chop some things up depending on some moments. And you know what? I'm also going to look to take some nice, funny, challenging, maybe intense moments that happen on other channels with their permission, and clip some things up with regards to me so you guys can enjoy it over here if you don't happen to follow me on said channel. But yeah, good looking out. So appreciative. We hit that 1,000. LFC sent some people over. I'm appreciative. Thank you, and good looking out. We're going to deal with some of these questions, some of these comments. Let me see what you got to say. Good looking out, LFC. Good looking out. They did, LFC. They did. Came through clutch between my blue people and the red people. They did their thing. Thank you so very much. Good looking out. Paul in the building goes, City will struggle at the back. Stone's always injured. Akanji is gone. Ruben Diaz has lost a step. He can gain it back. Kusanov not good enough. No, Kusanov will be good enough. Right now, he's getting ready. He's getting up to speed. Wants to ask a question. Blue Hearts in here battling it out. Has Liverpool sorted the defense? I know Gahey was many of you wanted Gahey. You need him because the season's long. You got some injuries that you're expecting from Kanate, from Gomez, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Big LOC for getting his friends. Yeah, huge. I won't forget that. I'm gonna clip that up as well. That's not lost on me. You know, I know we are rivals, but you enjoy the content. It's not lost on me that you truly sent this out and shared it with friends. So thank you so very much. Huge. Peter in the building, 1K love. Yeah, great to see. Thank you so very much. I'll continue. I got to bring the content out there. LFC, thank you, and shout out if there happens to be any type of membership or any type of bonuses, listen, you're always going to be remembered. And I guess if there's things that I can do gifted or bonused, I will do it for sure. Misa goes, Vader, I find it very funny that Terry acts like Ferguson's yeah, his first 7 seasons don't exist and went 3 years without winning a league title, but keep jumping on Pep every week. I kind of said it earlier. He can't help himself. He's a United fan. Like he can't help himself. Like that's gonna be that is what he does. So we can't be surprised by it. The one thing that I will say is when he's doing his defense of Ferguson, he can't pick and choose what years to take, right? Like Ferguson was in the league for over 20 something years, 25 years, if that's correct. And you can't
Vader games.
You can't pick and choose what 8 years you're going to use to compare career wise. You also can't do the spend, like you can't do the spend breakdown because it's so different eras, and we know this. Okay, we know this because we've heard rivals speak about it. And no, listen, Godfrey, Arsenal fans in the mix, don't take this as a slight, but when they want to bring up the amount of spending that Arsenal have done, Chelsea fans, City fans, we all know this. If you're trying to catch up, to the leaders, your spending's heavy. Business 101, you got this established franchises out there. Everybody knows them. Everybody knows their location, all that kind of stuff. If you're new in the mix, you're spending big upstart money. You're spending huge to get into the mix and to be known and to be amongst. So Terry's got to do what he's got to do, and like I said, he's got to do it because Sir Alex Ferguson is in jeopardy. I think he's already at jeopardy of the best first 8-year conversation. We can only go based off of the amount of years that Pep has in this league to compare to Sir Alex Ferguson. You got to go first 2 years to whatever. But they don't do it with Sir Alex because then they're going to give Sir Alex the first 6 years before the Prem started. It's not apples to apples, but you got to defend your guy because you know he's in jeopardy of losing that legacy stature. Where am I with the comments? Oh, Paul goes, Liverpool have Van Dijk, so we good. You have Van Dijk for one more season after this. Paul, you're not that good. And I doubt it that Gahey is the Van Dijk replacement. Like, okay, you guys are good for the next 2 years, just like us. I got Pep for another 2 years. You got Van Dijk for another 2 years. You got Salah for another 2 years. I respect your investment. You got Isak, you got Verts, you got Ekitike. Those investments long term make a lot of sense. You guys are going to be good beyond those players leaving, but you got to get the defense right. And it looks like Kanate's already got his head turned. He hasn't been playing the best. Both Arteta and Amarin getting fired at the Amarin 100%. Paul, Amarin 100%. Arteta, I don't know. I've got a crazy take. Shout out to those over at American Waffle. When we were doing the predictions in terms of like what player is going to be player of the year, top scorer, all that kind of stuff. You know what's crazy? I think Arsenal strongly they could win the UCL this year. Their style of play. Hear me out. Don't go crazy in the chat. Relax. This is hear me out. I think Arteta and this Arsenal team could win the UCL if two things happen, okay? Which are realistic. Hear me. I know. Okay, don't go wild on me. Hear me out. Don't laugh at me in the chat. No, seriously, hear me out. Because sometimes it all depends on the draw. Okay, it all depends on what side of the bracket you're on. Okay, now we've all seen the club that's been on the favorable side, right? We've all seen the club that's been on the favorable side. What if, guys, don't laugh. Hold on. What if we would all agree? I don't mean to laugh. You guys are making me laugh. We would all agree. We would all agree that Arsenal will make it out of the group stages, right? The fixture stage. Now, when it comes down to the knockout stage, they made it very far last year without a striker. Okay. Now, I'll admit they got to be healthy. Everybody needs to be on the same page. They're 1 year more experienced, right? They would have great confidence after what they did to Real Madrid. Okay. But I'm gonna say this: if they happen to have a favorable draw, they get out of the group stage. We know that fixture stage. They have a favorable draw, and here's the kicker. They face. I need to have a serious face on here. Arsenal win the UCL with a favorable draw, and if they face Inter, they win the UCL. What do you guys say? You guys with me? Favorable draw, Inter in the final. Arsenal first UCL. No? Come on. That is doable, guys. That's doable. That's what I'm saying here. And if he makes the final or wins the final, I think Arteta stays in this job. I don't think he gets sacked. But Amarin, 100%. Amarin's out of here. I don't like how you guys were laughing at me when I was saying all this. You guys are so mean. You're so disrespectful. Favorable draw, Inter in the final. Come on. You can see it, Godfrey. You can see it if you have a favorable draw and Inter in the final. Come on. That's very doable. Godfrey, come on. I'm not even a madness. I'm just saying a nice. They happen. No, Godfrey. You know how Liverpool are about to play against. They're about to play against. Or they played against a no available Saka. You know what I mean? Like that type of. It just happens to be convenient that they're playing against a team that don't have able. Like that's what I'm talking about. Ooh, Frank, better. We got to give him some time. LFC, Vader, after this take, I completely agree with Flawless. I'm not. You can't completely agree. I threw out a scenario, and it's a very specific scenario. I'm not saying that they're hands down going to win the UCL, but I think they could win the UCL with a favorable draw, and if they happen to match up against Inter. LFC, that's very possible. Come on, LFC, you guys had a nice run a couple years back when you were on the other side of the bracket, and you faced. I know you ended up facing Real Madrid in the final, but you had a favorable run heading over there. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he gets fired if he gets to a UCL final. Paul goes big fat no. We would have to leave football. Arsenal fans would be too unbearable. Paul, listen. If will you not accept? You winning back-to-back Prems? Okay, back-to-back Prems. Arsenal first UCL. You're taking that. All day. That'd be crazy though. Oh, that summer would be unbearable. Oh, that would be unbearable. That'd be tough. I don't know if I could live through that. That would be tough. But I'm just saying it's a possibility. Now, each and every one of you guys know I could talk forever. I was able to schedule this show. We talked about how United fans are overly defensive. I see LFC. We talked about how they have to be defensive because there's a level of threat there. There's concerns. There's understandings that if it wasn't a conversation, they wouldn't even address it. To have to put out these threads, these Twitter X threads, these video responses. There's not been a better 8 years. There's not been a better 8 years in the Prem. There's not been a better 8 years in the English League. Best first 8 years? I mean, do we go far back enough for it to be 8? Let me do my homework. But the reason why I'm going to say chill, and at the very first of this video, I said, let's not do the comparisons thing. Let's not do the whole comparison, Sir Alex Ferguson, Pep thing, because the eras are very different. If you want to go back and then you want to go back to the 30s, or you want to go back to the 80s, and you want to do that, I don't know if you do all that and then want to talk about these managers and the different impact. All right, times are different. Times are very different. But United fans are coming off mute. United fans are fighting for their lives. United fans are saying that Pep can only win when he had the best team. Pep needs ready-made players. Pep can't do a rebuild. They say all that because they're threatened by the man, and they're threatened by Manchester City, because how we won the treble, how we won our first UCL, how we were the first to win a four-peat, it threatens the Sir Alex Ferguson and United legacy. It really does. Okay. Now hold on. Let me go back to these. Let me go back to these comments. I'm catching you guys. LFC goes, okay, Bader. Give what's a favorable draw for Arsenal? A favorable draw, LFC, real quick, is if the big hitters cannibalize themselves. Like if the heavy hitters are on one side of the draw, or they're early on the same side of the draw, but they face each other, so that when it comes down to like only one big UCL legacy club they have to face, right? And they can kind of get a win the same way they got versus Real Madrid. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's 100% for sure. I'm just saying Arteta, UCL final, he's not getting sacked. Amarin, 100%, no matter what Amarin does. I don't care whether Amarin wins the Carabao, whether he wins the he's not going to make it that long to win the FA Cup. But there is nothing that Amarin can do to still be a manager next year. Paul goes, Sean Dice or Big Sam replacing Arteta would be fun. They would lose their minds. Arsenal fans would go crazy. They would go crazy. They're not ready. Arsenal aren't ready for who the next manager is anyways. But it's going to be interesting because there's going to be competition between United and Arsenal with regards to who the next manager is. That's going to be a fight, shopping for the same groceries again. Misa goes, Ferguson won 7 trophies in 8 seasons. Guardiola won 14 and 7. And he won, listen, Pep won those 7 in his first 8 years. Sir Alex wasn't winning squat. And he inherited a team that was like top 4. Were they top 4? I think they finished 4th the season he got them. He got them to 2nd, and then he was crashing and burning, inconsistent. Like this talk about, obviously he had to implement how he wanted the club to be in his vision. But to say that he got a group of bums that weren't winning, or that weren't good enough to win, like the revisionist on Sir Alex is wild. Arteta is an arm around player manager. Jesus Zinchenko, Arsenal, you're welcome for that. And Sterling, you're also welcome for that via Chelsea. Sort of proof for me. Arsenal have a soft core. They do. the what they just need to establish winning, and that doesn't happen overnight. It's actually really hard to do. And you gotta be like relentless. People that aren't about winning, you gotta sniff them out and get them out. I predict Amron won't make it till New Year's. I'm not mad at that. Amron might be let go, yeah, before the Christmas break. Would City have more or less trophies if they had Klopp? We wouldn't have more trophies with Klopp, and the reason why is because when they do the whole loyalty conversation, I think Klopp is even way more loyal than Pep. I think that's something that's really hindered Klopp. Um, I think another thing too is, again, Klopp is a winner. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he lives, eats, sleeps winning. Like I don't. That hasn't been my impression, because I think he would have been a lot more cutthroat, even with regards to some of his press conferences, even with how he worked with FSG. I think had he been a lot more relentless, I think he do win more of at Liverpool. But I don't think he would bring that. I don't think he would demand that if he was here at Manchester City. IU in the building, he goes, Vader, I really want Pep to play Savinho on the left and Bob on the right with Stones on right back. I'm concerned about Stones and that up and down on the pitch. Josko needs to get healthy, but I want him. Josko and Kosanov centrally. Yeah, I do like that. Listen, we're on the same page. I want that pairing. I haven't written off Diaz. I have not written off Diaz. But if we're going to be committing one of the left back or the right back up, right? If they're going to be very advancing, I do want a little bit of pace and power control. So if Kosanov, Josko, Guardiola can be that mix, I'm actually kind of cool with it. Stone sniffing out danger at right back's okay, and maybe we just let Aït-Nouri be that one to wander up. I'm kind of okay with it, but I think you'd agree we definitely do need a sound, true right back. We need to invest that way. Good looking out. Red nose only. Listen, he was, and I'm not taking anything away, blessed with that academy. Class of 92, blessed with it. But to say, when you got Scholes, Giggs, Beckham, come on now. No one ever talks about how he was privy or lucky to have that quality. They want to be the first to say it when it comes to Messi. Stop this. Vader, in which city are you living in Canada? I'm in the GTA as well. I'm central. I'm near Yonge. I'm near the Yonge line, subway line. So yeah, where are you at? Rico Lewis or Nunez at right back? Right. I gotta go I gotta go Nunez. But Nunez needs to fix up. Don't do silly things, man. Don't commit or surrender penalties in the box. It's all I ask. But I'm okay with how he's been. Sorry, while I didn't have anything against Klopp, he really isn't at the same level as Pep. No, he's not. Not long term, not short term. He had a good spark, but yeah, we can't put them in the same category. I agree. These days, you have to beat better teams. It's true. This is what we don't need to compare eras. We don't need to compare eras. Sir Alex Ferguson had his run. It was good. Pep's had his run. It's good. Pep is again different eras. Pep is dealing with that not with print and radio and TV. Pep's dealing with that with everything being on. Everything is repeated 1,000 times. Social media. Everything's clipped up. Everyone's got a camera. Everyone's zoomed in on the coaching box, and every reaction you do, every movement is overanalyzed. Listen, there's something to be said when they say certain people could not do what they did in this era. So let's leave the eras alone. United fans, if you keep defend your guy without attacking my guy, if you keep attacking Pep, you're not going to be happy with the microscope and the analysis that's going to be put under your guy. I'm telling you. Saskatchewan is the best. Paul, what are you doing here? Hey, shout out to Saskatchewan. I'm not mad at my people over in Regina. I'm not mad at that. But listen, best city, you need to relax. You need to relax. Vader, don't you think Pep is still finding? Yeah, and that's not a problem either. It's 3 games into the season, some inconsistencies with availability and I'm okay with Pep trying to figure out not only what 11 do I want, how do I want them to play. I'm absolutely 100% cool with that. I need phone healthy. I'm glad that Roger was able to play as much as he did before the international break, and the other players, because it's a list. I need Kosanov healthy. I need Kovacic back healthy. I need Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis. I need John Stone. I need Ait Nori and Josko. I need you guys healthy. Let me see what my back line could be if I got Ait Nori, Gavardio, like was mentioned in the chat. If I want to go Kosanov, or if I want to go Diaz, and then give me that option of maybe John Stones, or maybe I go Gavardio, Stones, and out on right back I got Kosanov. I don't know. Maybe we got something like that. I'm not sure. Are you ever went to FCFC Toronto Community? Listen, down by the pub, I have been. I'm not that much of a drinker, but more so just to watch the game. Funny enough, I moved since 2018, but prior to that, my neighbor was actually a City fan, and just off of Young and Egg, we'd go and catch games, Champions League games. We'd go and catch. But yeah, man. In Burlington, not bad. Burlington's a nice spot. It's a nice spot. Spartacus asking, Nunez is so frustrating. He has a solid 8 out of 10 game, but I know, man. I know. And as a result, Spartacus, I can't compliment his game until the 90 minutes is over. Because it's happened to me twice. I'm like, you know what? I like what Nunez is doing. Oh, damn it. That's happened to me twice. Spartacus, it's happened to me twice. I'm there enjoying the game, and I'm like reflecting. I'm like, you know what? I'm happy with how Nunez is played. Oh, no. So frustrating. So frustrating. Nice. Listen, amazing city. City for city, I think culturally, like traditionally, it can kind of feel a little cold. Montreal, amazing city. Toronto, nice as well. Like, doesn't quite give the same kind of like historical or lively vibe, in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased being born in Montreal, but Toronto, great. I tell all my New York friends, it's a clean New York and less dense with less rude people. I think that's pretty fair. I think that's pretty fair. Josko and Stones are key. Yeah, we need them healthy. That's what we need. This is the worst defense we have. And it funny enough, it fixes overnight with a right back. It does. It fixes overnight with a right back. IU in the building. He goes, Vader, on your thoughts on this city. Listen, the city settlement, I will get it. You got to stay tuned. I'm buzzing too. I'll read your comment, but let me read your comment. On the city settlement with the Premier League, because of that possibility, City's blockbuster deal with Etihad and UAE based bank. Yep. Over 1 billion, which is blocked by Premier League in 2023. I'm buzzing. Listen, IU, I'm going to have that conversation. I will. I promise you I'm going to have that conversation over on CIA. Subscribe, everyone. Make sure you have the notification on. I'm going to do so for me. I need to wrap this show up because I didn't realize that we've been going back and forth, but I love the interaction. Maybe this is the timing that I need to kind of figure out. Maybe if I try and do my shows maybe at 4 p.m. my time, so I'll work through lunch and the workday a little early, but Maybe I do 4 p.m. Kids are home. Yeah, maybe I'll do something like that. But sorry, I'm talking out loud here. I am buzzing for this. I'm gonna do a show on CIA. I'm gonna figure out the timing. So please subscribe. Make sure you have that notification because I'm gonna go in depth. I'm gonna break this down. Listen, we've had a lot to have to deal with, and we've had to spend off the pitch. I know that this has hampered some of the decisions we've wanted to make to be as aggressive as we've been in past years. Rivals will never bring it up. Rivals will just look to see what's happening on the pitch. They'll look at the recruitment and they'll be like, you guys have been bumming. You guys have been making poor decisions for a time now. I think when we've seen players, when we want to go out and say, boom, here's what we want. What I do like, you hear me. Notice on how the media darling, shout out to all the Liverpool fans in the chat, their spending is quote unquote okay. They haven't spent in previous years, therefore they can spend this way. They're clear of their FFP or PSR, so they can do all this. There's no bad talk about how they're spending. There's no bad talk about record transfers 2 in 1 season. I like that. I'm not going to forget about that. We as City fans and rivals, non-Liverpool fans, aren't going to forget about that either. Okay, that's the standard. You're okay to talk about these guys like that, and then you want to say that these guys aren't the media darlings? These guys get a bly. They get a pass. Oh, yeah. It's all good. Spend, transfer, breaks, break them, get the players you want from a position of strength. A position of weakness, a club chasing. The club chasing is even more justified to want to spend and catch and get into the mix, right? I like this. I like this settlement. Because when you got the ability to actually have what was earmarked, some of these earmarked spending that you couldn't do because it was all hemmed up. Now let's go. Let's go and compete. Let's go and get these players that we have on our list to go out and get. Let's not be hampered because of 115, because of APT. Let's go out and get the quality. Let's go again. And record spending, breaking transfers is okay, right? Liverpool did it. It's okay. Let's go. Let's go. We did Jack Grealish and we were vilified for it. They're doing Verts and Isak and they're praised for it. Listen, we were the villains. We were hated. They've been bigged up and liked. Let's go. Let's own it. Let's own being the villains. We did it breaking one release clause. It was a release clause that we went and got 100 million. We were vilified for it. These guys went out and broke transfer records. Praise. Let's go. We going. We going. I'm telling you, we going. I know I fell behind on the chat. What we got? LFC goes, Vader. If all fit, what will your starting 11 and your prediction? Oof. If fit versus United, I need some dogs. I need some fighters. So I'm gonna go Holland. Cause problems with that back line, Holland. Just be relentless. Get a good night's sleep. Tell wifey not tonight. Be ready to put in that work on that pitch. Out on right wing, I'm going to go healthy. I'd like to have Oscar Bob put in that work. And then on left wing, I'd actually start Savinho. Let me get a little trickery. Let me get some of that deliverability from Savinho. I'm going to keep Doku as an option on the bench. I'm going to keep Marmoush as an option on that bench. And so my front three, Oscar Bob, Holland, Savinho. Let me go midfield of Foden, Reinders, and Rodri. Okay. Fully healthy. And let me go back line of with the pace of the game. You know what? Let me go Stones. Let me go Kosanov. Let me go Gavardio. And let me go Ait-Nouri. That's what I would do for my all healthy. And then my bench options. I got Diaz off the bench. I got Shirky off the bench, like you said, all healthy, right? I got Marmoush off the bench, game changers. I got Nico Gonzalez off the bench, give me a game changer. I got Doku off the bench, give me another game changer. Holland for Marmouche. Let's just relentless. Let's run at them. Let's fight for everything. Duels, 50-50s, we're in it. That would be my starting 11. Those would be my options for Pep to be like, I see something. Let's go and attack this side. Bring on so-and-so. That's what I would say. Long-winded, I know. Spartacus. I do Nunez, Stones, Josco. Okay. Not bad at that. Brand. Okay. Not bad. I always like to give Pep time at the beginning of a new season. With all the new recruits, he may need more. He's going to need time. Any manager is going to need time. And because of his high standards, he's going to be expected to do it quickly. And thoughts on Ake future? I think this is his last season. He's been very good for us. Listen, we brought him over from a relegated Bournemouth, if I remember correctly. He's been great. And I'm not going to forget how much of a warrior he was in previous seasons. Much like how he put his body on the line for us in Laporte. Ake's been that guy, and I'll never forget. But I think this is his last season. The other big thing with the current City squad is, again, injuries. Yeah, we need to get healthy. The coaching staff, fitness staff, they need to fix up and realize how to keep everybody healthy. Good chat. Good looking out, Paul. Good looking out. Thank you for being a part of the show. I'm going to wrap up shortly. Cheers. I'm going to go. I'm going to go in. I'm going in. Trust me, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Our injury list will be the thing that would stop us. Yeah, true. That's our biggest thing. And because of the injury list, I think our manager, he's going to have to pick and choose what competitions we're really going to be fierce and into. Go to, guys. You see next time, hopefully. Yeah, Blue Heart, good looking out. Everybody in the chat, I want to thank each and every one of you. LFC, huge thank you. IU, I see you in the building. Centurions, LFC, I want to thank you so very much. Wicked. On the same page. Listen, I want to thank you so much. Why LFCC, when we're cool and then you want to laugh at me when I say Doku game changer. Listen, you see what Doku did in international break. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. Just wait. Doku on a mission. LFC, thank you so very much. I'm grateful and humble for what you did, sending your friends over in the subs. I'm going to continue to give you guys some content tomorrow. Look out for a show. I want to get the panel guys together. We got to talk APT. We got to enjoy, celebrate. I'm not saying pop champagne, but I'm saying enjoy it when you can. Look out. I'm most likely going to be featured over at American Waffle, Staffy TV later on tonight. But expect a show from me. Everybody, hit that like button. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're just catching me shortly, hey, go back and watch from the beginning. The beauty about this, okay, when I start the clock, I'm all into the combo. I'm all into what I want to get off my chest. Post clock winding down, getting to zero, then we're interacting. We're going back and forth. I'm all up in the comments. So I hope you enjoy that format. I hope at future times you can continue to be a part of the show. But yeah, good looking out. Listen, bless LFC, IU, take care, and enjoy this outro of my show with regards to past broadcasts. But when I'm back, it's going to be CIA, intelligent agendas. We got some things to deal with. I'm out.